The Rosicrucian Cosmo Conception, a word to the wise. The founder of the Christian religion stated an occult maxim when he said, "Whosoever shall not receive the kingdom of God as a little child shall not enter therein." Mark 10:15. All occultists recognize the far-reaching importance of this teaching of Christ and endeavor to live it day by day. When a new philosophy is presented to the world, it is met in different ways by different people. One person will grasp with avidity any new philosophical effort in an endeavor to ascertain how far it supports his own ideas. To such one, the philosophy itself is of minor importance. Its prime value will be its vindication of his ideas. If the work comes up to expectation in that respect, he will enthusiastically adopt it and cling to it with a most unreasoning partisanship. If not, he will probably lay the book down in disgust and disappointment, feeling as if the author had done him an injury. Another adopts an attitude of skepticism as soon as he discovers that it contains something which he has not previously read, heard, or originated in his own thought. He would probably resent and extremely unjustified the accusation that his mental attitude is the acme of self-satisfaction and intolerance. Such is nevertheless the case, and thus he shuts his mind to any truth which may possibly be hidden in that which he offhand rejects. Both these classes stand in their own light. Set ideas render them impervious to rays of truth. A little child is the very opposite of its elders in that respect. It is not imbued with an overwhelming sense of superior knowledge, nor does it feel compelled to look wise or to hide its nescience of any subject by a smile or a sneer. It is frankly ignorant, unfettered by preconceived opinions, and therefore eminently teachable. It takes everything with that beautiful attitude of trust which we have designated childlike faith, wherein there is no let me read that again. It takes everything with that beautiful attitude of trust, which we have designated childlike faith, wherein there is not the shadow of a doubt. There the child holds the teaching it receives until proven or disproven. In all occult schools, the pupil is first taught to forget all else when a new teaching is being given, to allow neither preference nor prejudice to govern, but to keep the mind in a state of calm, dignified waiting. As skepticism will build us to truth in the most effective manner, so this calm, trustful attitude of the mind will allow the intuition, or teaching from within, to become aware of the truth contained in the proposition. That is the only way to cultivate an absolutely certain perception of truth. The pupil is not required to believe offhand that a given object which he has been observed to be white is really black, when such a statement is made to him, but he must cultivate an attitude of mind which believeth all things as possible. That will allow him to put by for the I'll read that again. That will allow him to put by for the time being even what are generally considered established facts, and investigate if perchance there be another viewpoint hitherto unobserved by him, whence the object referred to would appear black. Indeed, he would not allow himself to look upon anything as an established fact, for he realizes thoroughly the importance of keeping his mind in the fluidal state of adaptability which characterizes the little child. He realizes in every fiber of his being that now we see through a glass darkly, and Ajax like he is ever on the alert, learning for light, more light. The enormous advantage of such an attitude of mind when investigating any given subject, object, or idea must be apparent. Statements which appear positively and unequivocally contradictory, which have caused an immense amount of feeling among the advocates of opposite sides, may nevertheless be capable of perfect reconciliation, as shown in one such instance mentioned in the present work. The bond of concord is only discovered by the open mind. However, and though the present work may be found to differ from others, the writer would bespeak an impartial hearing as the basis of subsequent judgment. If the book is weighed and found wanting, the writer will have no complaint. He only fears a hasty judgment based upon lack of knowledge of the system he advocates, a hearing wherein the judgment is wanting, in consequence of having been denied an impartial weighing. He would further submit that the only opinion worthy of the one who expressed it must be based upon knowledge. As a further reason for care in judgment, we suggest that to many it is exceedingly difficult to retract a hastily expressed opinion. Therefore, it is urged that the reader withhold all expressions of either praise or blame until study of the work has reasonably satisfied him of its merit or demerit. The Rosicrucian Cosmo Conception is not dogmatic, neither does it appeal to any other authority than the reason of the student. It is not controversial, but is set forth in the hope that it may help to clear some of the difficulties which have beset the minds of students of the deeper philosophies in the past. In order to avoid serious misunderstanding, it should be firmly impressed upon the mind of the student, however, that there is no infallible revelation of this implicated subject, which includes everything under the sun and above it also. An infallible exposition would predicate omniscience upon the part of the writer, and even the elder brothers tell us that they are sometimes at fault in their judgment. So a book which shall say the last word on the world mystery is out of the question, and the writer of the present work does not pretend to give aught but the most elementary teachings of the Rosicrucians. The Rosicrucian Brotherhood has the most far-reaching and the most logical conception of the world mystery of which the writer has gained any knowledge during the many years he has devoted exclusively to the study of this subject. So far as he has been able to investigate, their teachings have been found in accordance with facts as he knows them. Yet he is convinced that the Rosicrucian Cosmo Conception is far from being the last word on the subject, that as we advance greater vistas of truth will open to us and make clear many things which we now see through a glass darkly. At the same time, he firmly believes that all other philosophies of the future will follow the same main lines, for they appear to be absolutely true. In view of the foregoing, it will be plain that this book is not considered by the writer as the Alpha and Omega, the ultimate of occult knowledge, and even though it is entitled The Rosicrucian Cosmo Conception, the writer desires to strongly emphasize that it is not to be understood as a faith once for all delivered to the Rosicrucians by the founder of the order or by any other individual. It is empathetically stated that this work embodies only the writer's understanding of the Rosicrucian teachings concerning the world mystery, strengthened by his post-mortem. Let me read that again. It is empathetically stated that this work embodies only the writer's understanding of the Rosicrucian teachings concerning the world mystery, strengthened by his personal investigations of the inner worlds, the antenatal and post-mortem states of man. The reasonability which devolves upon one who wittingly or unwittingly leads others astray is clearly realized by the writer, and he wishes to guard himself as far as possible against that contingency, and also to guard others against the possibility of going wrong inadvertently. What is said in this work is to be accepted or rejected by the reader according to his own discretion. All diligence has been used in trying to understand the teaching. Great pains have been taken to put into words that shall be easily understood. For that reason only the term has been used throughout the work to convey each idea. I'll read that again. For that reason only one term has been used throughout the work to convey each idea. The same word will have the same meaning wherever used. When any word descriptive of an idea is first used, the clearest definition possible to the writer is given. None but English terms and the simplest language have been employed. The writer has constantly endeavored to give as exact and definite descriptions of the subject under consideration as possible, to eliminate all ambiguity and to make everything clear. How far he has succeeded must be left to the student to judge, but having diligently used every possible endeavor to convey the teaching, he feels compelled to guard also against the possibility of his work being taken as an authoritative statement of the Rosicrucian teachings. Neglect of this precaution might give undue weight to this work in the minds of some students. That would not be fair to the Brotherhood nor to the reader. It would have a tendency to throw the responsibility upon the Brotherhood for the mistake which must occur in this as in all other human works, hence the above warning. During the 4 years which have elapsed since the foregoing paragraphs were written, the writer has continued his investigations of the invisible world and experienced the expansion of consciousness relative to these realms of nature, which comes by practice of the precept taught in the Western Mystery School. Others also who have followed the method of soul unfoldment, herein described as particularly suited to the Western peoples, have likewise been enabled to verify for themselves many things here taught. Thus the writer's understanding of what was given by the elder brothers has received some corroboration and seems to have been substantially correct. Therefore he feels it is a duty to state this for the encouragement of those who are still unable to see it for themselves. Let me read that again. Thus the writer's understanding of what was given by the elder brothers has received some corroboration and seems to have been substantially correct. Therefore he feels it is a duty to state this for the encouragement of those who are still unable to see for themselves. If we had said that the vital body is built of prisms instead of points, it would have been better, for it is by refraction through these minute prisms that the colorless solar fluid changes to a rosy hue, as observed by other writers beside the author. Other new and important discoveries have also been made. For instance, we know now that the silver cord is grown anew in each life, that one part sprouts from the seed atom of the desire body in the great vortex of the liver, that the other part grows out of the seed atom of the dense body in the heart, that both parts meet in the seed atom of the vital body in the solar plexus, and that this union of the higher and lower vehicles causes the quickening. Further development of the cord between the heart and solar plexus during the first 7 years has an important bearing on the mystery of child life. Likewise, its fuller growth from the liver to the solar plexus, which takes place during the second septenary period, is a contributory cause of adolescence. Completion of the silver cord makes the end of child life, and from that time the solar energy which enters through the spleen and is tinted by refraction through the prismatic seed atom of the vital body located in the solar plexus commences to give a distinctive and individual coloring to the aura which we observe in adults.